Dwellings by Jay Stevens. Don't let the cartoon art style and adorable characters fool you. Dwellings is a dark and disturbing look at the strange happenings of a small town. If you follow my channel, you know I'm a huge fan of deceptively cute horror comics, and Dwellings is one of my favorites of this kind. It features 6 twisted tales that are all subtly connected and take place in the fictional town of Elwich. Honestly, each one of these stories could be a video in and of itself, but I wanted to have one complete overview, so I'm covering them all in this monster video. If you're a fan of folk horror and enjoy small town supernatural storytelling like Stranger Things or Stephen King's It, this comic is right up your alley. Anyway, we really have a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. This is Dwellings Explained. So let's get into the first story, They Know. This story starts with an ominous murder of crows cawing about the park. A young blue-haired man listens to music as he takes a leisurely stroll. In a more secluded area of the park, he passes by a pretty rough-looking older man who immediately recognizes him. The old guy points at him, saying, "I know you." The blue-haired man denies this in a stammer, but the creepy guy grabs his wallet and looks at his ID, reading his name aloud, John Allen. With a creepy smirk, he says, "You're not John Allen. I know who you really are." He snaps into a rage and starts choking the kid, accusing him of testifying against his brother, and says his real name is Jordan Perry. He calls the old man crazy and breaks free, running away, but unfortunately tripping on a rock. From behind him, the old man continues his rant, saying the blue dye job doesn't work. He knows he's the kid who put his brother in jail after he and his mom testified against him. With tears in his eyes, the kid lays on the ground as the man stands over him. With a grin, he says, "I bet your mom has a new name too. I bet she lives around here." Then, in a shocking turn of events, the man's threats are met with a sickening thud as the kid smashes his face in with a rock, sending him to the ground, the fresh wound gushing blood. It's pretty clear that he's dead, and the blue-haired man is surprisingly calm. He walks to a nearby stream and chucks the rock in, as well as washing the blood off of his hands. All the while, the crows gather in the trees and begin to caw loudly. The young man simply puts his earbuds back in and continues his stroll. Behind him, we can see the corpse is being picked apart by the excited crows. Well, that is one hell of an opening, I have to say. Talk about starting off right in the shit. God damn. Later that evening, we see 2 police officers investigating the crime scene. One is named Detective Royster, and we learn that she was just recently put back in the field after an incident where she was forced to shoot and kill a suspect. They don't have too much to go on other than some signs of struggle in the grass, and we'll have to find out if anyone witnessed what happened. The next day, we see the blue-haired man again, having a phone call with his mother. He assures her that everything will be fine. He read in the paper today that there are no leads or witnesses. Their conversation confirms that the old man was actually right. This is Jordan Perry, and he and his mother are in the witness protection program after helping to put away a violent member of the Piccolo crime family, a name you'll hear again later on in the comic. He defends the killing, telling his mom he was thinking of her and that that man was going to try and hurt them. As he talks, he makes his way into his apartment building and has a drink. I like how the bottle of booze has 3 X's on it, like an old school comic. Outside his windows, the crows from earlier start to gather and caw loudly. This escalates until Jordan is forced to hang up the phone, not being able to hear over the piercing sound. Next, we see Detective Royster talking to the police chief. He asks how she's doing, and she goes into a long tangent about how she believes the victim, Rufus, was killed in a crime of passion. There's no evidence connecting the murder to the dealings of the Piccolo crime family, and she's afraid the culprit may kill again. The chief just looks at her for a second and is like, "No, I meant, how's it going being back on the force?" It's kind of a funny moment. We go back to Jordan as his girlfriend Verge shows up to the apartment. She immediately asks about the crows outside the window, and Jordan explodes, calling them f***ing Halloween eagles. It seems their constant cawing is getting to him. Verge says she likes crows. They're actually highly intelligent. They're smarter than the average carrion bird. Instead of searching for dead things to eat, crows